question. Scajaquada Creek is a really impaired waterway. It starts in the city of Buffalo, goes all the way through Lancaster, Depew, Cheektowaga. The source waters are actually up there in Lancaster area. So it starts off pretty clean. It actually goes underground. It's buried for nearly 4 miles. 3.7 miles is buried for. And there's a lot of pollution in it. So we're talking sewage pollution, runoff from roads, runoff from neighborhoods. So the 198, the Scajaquada Expressway, is a huge focus for us at Waterkeeper. And we actually work with a whole lot of partners. There's something called the Scajaquada Creek Corridor Coalition. And it's people like Buffalo Olmsted Parks, Parkside Neighborhood Association, Black Rock Riverside Neighborhood Association. And we advocate for the removal of the highway. It has a lot of water quality impacts. If you imagine it's parallel to the creek, it runs over the creek. Sometimes the concrete superstructure is actually in the creek. So if you're boating, maybe you're gonna run into a concrete footer. So one of the things we do is we're always thinking about the water quality impacts of that highway. If you're on a car, maybe you're leaking oil, maybe rain's taking that oil into the water. If you get into an accident, maybe your bumper winds up into the creek. So there's that chemical aspect, there's that physical pollution aspect. And that road is really just not only an ecological barrier for fish and birds crossing the creek, it's also a community barrier. If you live on one side, it's really hard to get to the neighborhood on the other. So we worked with the DOT for a long time with a lot of those partners I just mentioned. And we actually take the frame of mind that we're here to work with them on a good plan rather than work against them. We just didn't have the same vision before. They were pushing a really highly engineered solution. And us and our partners are really advocating for what we call complete streets. So just like Main Street here that we're on, it's at grade, it's walkable, it's bikeable. It's not that limited access highway that you need to get into a car and go on an on-ramp to get onto. It's just more part of the neighborhood and the actual urban street grid of Buffalo. So we did butt heads for a while. The process restarted in January of this year. So DOT actually put the brakes on their plans just because of all the feedback that they got on it. It didn't really live up to the community's vision and our vision for what that road should be. So we're kind of feeling out that process right now. What's it going to look like? How are we going to be involved in the process? But again, us and our partners, we're really looking to be directly involved on achieving that community vision and what that road can actually be and how it can improve water quality.